right, and the first point there will go to the Beavers. That was number 12, Jalen Smith. So 1-0 in favor of the Beavers. Number 1, Faye Jackson back to serve for the Beavers. Ball is over the net, and it is an ace for Faye Jackson. And that'll bring the score 2-0 here in the first set. Sets go to 25 here, so next serve up for Jackson is over the net, and it is dug out by number 9, Briley Rell. Over the net. Back over, another dig there by number 6. Jackson with the setup. There's 12, Jalen Smith. Oh, what a save over there. And I think that was the 4th hit, so that point will not count. So it's 3-0 in favor of the Beavers. Jackson serve up. Back over the net by number 9, Braylon Rail. And number 12, Jalen Smith tries to spike it, and it just hits the net. So there's the first point for the Bobcats. Serving now for the Bobcats is number 9, Braylon Rail. Dig over there by, back over number 12, Jalen Smith. And number 8, Sagan Sims tries to just tip it over the net and just misses. And that's going to be 4-1 in favor of the Beavers. Substitution coming in for the Bobcats. It's going to be number 13, Hayden Sears. And number 16, Olivia White serves over the net. Back over by the Bobcats. Jackson. 2 Bobcats glide and get it over the net. And number 10 for the Beavers, that's going to be Charity Powell. Spikes it, but it is out of bounds, and that's going to bring your score 4-2 in favor of the Beavers. Sub for the Bobcats, number 20. It's going to be Lily Elkins checking out, and number 5, Carly Persinger checking in. Serve over for the Bobcats. Patterson with the dig, and that's going to be the 3rd hit. So in volleyball, you only have 3 chances to get the ball over the net, and that's going to bring your score tied 4-4. Number 10, that's Alyssa Persinger with the serve. Back over the net. Volleyed back and forth, and Jackson with a little bit of spike there, and that's going to bring your score 5-4 for the Beavers. And we're going to have Patterson serving it up. No, that was Smith serving it up. Jackson sets up Patterson. Patterson tips it over. Spike there by Powell, and that's going to be good. It's going to bring it 6-4 in favor of the Beavers. Smith back to serve for the Beavers. Over the net. Oh, good save there by 20, Lily Elkins. Jackson tips it over. And Sims tries to just tip it over the net and hits the net, so that's going to bring it 7-4. And Smith back to serve once again. And that's going to be a point for the Beavers. It's going to bring it 8-4, and we're going to have a timeout taken by the Bobcats.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only.
Carly Persinger with the point. Makes it 8-5 coming out of the timeout for the Bobcats. Sims serves up over to Powell. And Hayden Patterson comes up with the spike. That's going to bring it 9-5 in favor of the Beavers. Serving for the Beavers now is going to be number 13, Chloe Wilson. And Wilson's serve is high, and it's going to be out of bounds. That's going to be a point for the Bobcats. And we're going to have a substitution. Number 9, that's going to be Brienne Real checking in for number 13, Hayden Sears. Jackson's got it over Sims. And that's going to be the third hit for the Bobcats. That's going to bring the score 10-6. Powell back to serve now for the Beavers. Her serves up. And what a save there by number 3, Angle. Jackson hits it over to Sims. And back over the net it goes. Got a little bit of a volley here. And what a save there by Powell. And we got a volley and a half going on here until that right there, as number 20, Lily Elkins, puts the Bobcats on the board, makes it 10-7 in favor of the Beavers. It's going to be Carly Persinger with the serve. Smith tried to spike it over the net and just a little short. That's going to make it 10-8. Persinger back to serve once again for the Bobcats. Serves over. Powell digs it. Jackson with the assist. Save there by Elkins. Back over to Jackson. And Patterson with the spike and score from the assist from Faye Jackson. It's going to bring your score 11-8 in favor of the Beavers. Now back serving for the Beavers is going to be Patterson. Patterson serves up, and it's just out of bounds. 11-9 now. Still in favor of the Beavers. Number 20, Lily Elkins, back to serve. Her serves up and over the net. Jackson digs it over. And number 3, Emma Engel with the assist to Alyssa Persinger. And that's going to be 11-10 Beavers. Served by Elkins is up. Jackson tips it over, and that one's going to go into the stands, and that's going to be a point for the Beavers. 12-10. And we made it all the way back around. And Faye Jackson is back to serve once again. Jackson serves up. And it's an ace. There's 26, the Libra, Kinley Ellison, tries to dive for it and just misses. It's going to be 13 to 10 in favor of the Beavers. Jackson's serve is another ace. Back-to-back aces for the Beavers, 14 to 10. Jackson serves up. Ellison, dig there by Powell. Set by Jackson, and the spike by Smith. Good hustle there by number 20 for the Bobcats, Lily Elkins. But it's going to be 15 to 10 Beavers. And the serve up by Jackson. Over the net. Ellison has it. Over from Persinger. Jackson with the setup once again to Smith. And number 9 for the Bobcats, Brian Real tries to just tip it over and just a little too close to the net, makes it 16 to 10 in favor of the Beavers. Jackson serves up. Real. Patterson hit to Jackson, over to Smith. Real. Over to Sims, and that ball's not going to get over the net. It's going to be 17 to 10. And we're going to have a timeout once again by the Bobcats. We'll be right back.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Rinnai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only.
One senior. And we're back here after the timeout from the Bobcats, 17 to 10 in favor of the Beavers. And the serve from Jackson's over the net. Sims with the hit back over. Jackson setting up Smith once again, tipped over. And Alyssa Persinger's spike's going to be just a tad bit hard, and that's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be 18 to 10. And the serve from Jackson. Going to be dug out there by Elkins, but it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be 19 to 10. Jackson serves over. And what a try there on the dig by Elkins, but it's out of bounds. It's going to be 20 to 10 Beavers. And Jackson, and that's another ace for Jackson. It's going to be 21 to 10. Jackson still serving for the Beavers here. Another serve there over the net. Jackson looks like she carried there. as that's going to be 21-11. Rails serve. Powell hits it up. Patterson over. Smith puts it over the net for the Beavers. Setting up Sims. Powell digs it. Jackson with the assist over to Smith. Elkins over to Sims. Back up to Jackson. Sims. Jackson with another set and assist. Sims over. We got a volley going on here. Smith with another. Persinger with the spike, saved by Powell. Over by Smith. Sims setting up for the spike. Saved by Powell. What a save there. What a save there by number 8 for the Beavers. That's going to be Kaylee Zilkowski. And that's going to bring your score 22-11. As the Libra, Olivia White, set to serve. That's going to go out of bounds. That's going to be a point for the Bobcats. It's going to bring your score, should be 21-13. As the scoreboard in the gymnasium has it 22-12. It should be 21-13. Bobcats with the serve. Smith with the dig over to Sims. Sims with the spike. Patterson over to Smith over the net. And Carly Persinger tries to spike it and just hits the net. That's going to bring your score 22-13. And Smith's serve hits the net. It's going to bring your score 23-14 in favor of the Beavers. Served by Sims for the Bobcats. Jackson back over the net. Setting it up for Persinger. Saved by Jackson over by Powell. Elkins with the spike. And it's tipped out by Powell, as that's going to be another point for the Bobcats. Bobcats trying to claw back into this thing here. 23-15. Sims with the serve over. Over to Powell over the net. Back over to Sims. Dig there by Wilson. And that's going to be another point for the Bobcats. It's going to be 23-16 now. And a serve by Sims over the net to Jackson. Back over to Smith. And Powell tries to get it over the net, and it does not happen there. And we're going to have a timeout taken by the Beavers. 23-17 Beavers. We'll be right back.
R.T. Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Rinnai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
And we're back here. Sims serve over after the timeout. Smith back over the net for the Beavers. What a block there by Patterson on Persinger's spike. Jackson setting up Patterson. And just inside the line. And that's going to be game point coming up for the Beavers, 24-17. I mean, that was a game of inches right there. Served by number 13, Chloe Wilson. Jackson gets it back over the net. Sims with the dig over to Elkins, and it's tipped over, and that's going to be a point for the Bobcats. 24-18 now, and we're going to have a substitution. Number 9, Brienne Reel comes in. Smith over to Powell, over the net for the Beavers. Reel over to Elkins, over the net for the Bobcats. Jackson sets up Powell. Dig there by Sims. Elkins gets up with a high spike, saved there over the net by Powell. Another setup by Elkins over the net. Jackson with the setup to Powell. And that is going to do it, as that's going to be 1-0 in favor of the Beavers, winning this first match 25-18. We'll be right back for the second match just after this.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
All right, and we're back here for set number 2 of best of 3. Beavers out in front 1-0, winning that last one 25-18. And Waiting to see. Yep, the Beavers will get the ball here for the start. And it's going to be the only senior on the Bluefield roster, Faye Jackson. And serves up over the net. Dug out by Elkins. Persinger hits it over, back over to Smith. Over the net once again. Elkins sets up for the spike. What a dig there by Wilson. Over the net. And point for the Bobcats in favor of number 9, Brianne Reel. Serving first for the Bobcats is going to be number 20, Lily Elkins. And serves over the net. Dug out there by Powell. Back over the net, Reel. Persinger over the net for the Bobcats. Jackson setting up Smith for the spike, and it's going to hit the net. That's going to be 2-0 in favor of the Bobcats. Elkins with the serve over the net. Jackson kind of in between there. She kind of was like a knuckleball, as that's going to be 3-0 in favor of the Bobcats. And the serve by Elkins, dug out there by Powell. Another dig by Elkins for the Bobcats, over by Sims. Jackson, and it's going to be another carry. And that's going to be 4-0 in favor of the Bobcats. Bobcats have to win this one to go to a set number 3. Elkins serve over. Smith tried to tip it over for the Beavers, and it hits the net. 5-0 in favor of the Bobcats. Elkins with the serve. Powell with the save. And that's going to be the first point on the board for the Bobcats, for the Beavers. As we're going to have Olivia White serving it up for the Beavers. Dug out there by the Libra, Kinley Ellison. It's going to hit the net. It's going to be 5-2. Beavers down by 3. White serve over, and that's going to be out. 6-2 in favor of the Bobcats. Real with the serve for the Bobcats. And that's going to go under the net. As that's going to be no good. (6-3) Bobcats. Smith serve over. Setting up Persinger. And it's going to be out. 6-4. Beavers trying to claw back into this one after going down 4-0 to start set number 2. Smith back to serve for the Beavers. And it's just going to be outside the line. 7-4 Bobcats. Persinger serving it up for the Bobcats, and it's going to be short, 7-5. Substitution coming in. Ellison coming in for Persinger. Wilson serve over. Setting up Persinger. That's going to be Carly Persinger. Her spike's going to be just short, and it's going to be 7-6 in favor of the Bobcats. Wilson serve over, high serve. Sims back over the net for the Bobcats. Patterson hits it over for the Beavers. Setting up Persinger for the spike, and that's going to be out of bounds, 7-7. Wilson serve over. Jackson back over for the Beavers. Sims digs it out. Over by Angler. Powell setting up for the huge spike, and it's out of bounds. 8-7 in favor of the Bobcats. And now Sagan Sims serving it up for the Bobcats. Jackson setting up Powell for the spike, and it's going to be out once again. 9-7 in favor of the Bobcats. Sims serve's going to be short, 9-8 now. Substitution for the Beavers. Olivia White checking out and Zilkowski checking in. Served by Powell, dug out there by Sims. Tipped over by Angler. And it's going to be another point for the Bobcats. 10-8. Substitution coming in for the Bobcats is going to be number 9. Real coming in for number 13, Sears. Serve by Angler is going to be over and good. It's going to be 11-8 now. Angles serves over, just got over the net. I mean, that cleared by just an inch. Going to make it 12-8. Bobcats, we're going to have a timeout taken by the Beavers. We'll be right back.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
And we are back here. After the timeout, Angles serve over for the Bobcats is going to be out just outside the back line. It's going to be 12-9 in favor of the Bobcats. Patterson back serving for the Beavers. Her serves up over the net, and it's an ace for Patterson. 12-10. Patterson serve over, dug out there by Sims. Setting up Ellison, and what a spike there. As Smith tried to block it, and it just tipped off her fingers. 13-10 now, Bobcats. Persinger back in for Elkins. Persinger serve over, dug out there by Jackson. And Real with the height tips it over, and that's going to be 14-10 Bobcats. Persinger serves over, dug out by Powell. Smith over for the Bobcats, saved by Real. Dig there by Powell, over by Smith, dug out there by Ellison. Back over the net Jackson setting up Smith for the spike. And saved there by Persinger. Over by the other Persinger. Jackson setting up Smith again for a spike. Real with the dig. And the size there by Smith gets a point. For the Beavers, as we had a little confusion there. As we got 14-11 now, Bobcats. Serve over by Jackson. Persinger over for the Bobcats. Jackson setting up Smith again. Dug out there by Ellison. And it's just out. 14-12. Beavers trying to claw back into this one. Last set, Jackson had about 9 points while she was serving. Jackson over to Smith. Smith with the spike. What a dig and save try there by the Libra, Kinley Ellison. And it just hits the front of the net. It's going to be 14-13. Jackson serve over, and that's going to be out 15-13 in favor of the Bobcats. Ellison serve over. Real over for the Bobcats, and that's going to be out 15-14 now. Got a tight one here going into set number 2. Wilson, or White, back to serve for the Beavers, and that's going to hit the net. It's going to be 16-14 now in favor of the Bobcats. Real back to serve now for the Bobcats. And Smith tries to get it inbounds, and it's just out. 17-14 now in favor of the Bobcats. Real serve, left-handed server, and that's going to be, as White tried to dig it there, and that's going to be, hits the wall. It's going to be almost what you would call an ace there for Real. She serves the next one up, and that's going to be another point for Real. 19-14 now. Bobcats have to win this set. Real with another left-handed serve there. Over by Wilson. Setting up Sims for the spike. Saved by Patterson. Over by Powell. Real. And they set up Persinger with the spike. Setting up Sims with the spike. And White tries to dig it, and it hits off her chest. 20-14 now in favor of the Bobcats. Real's left-handed serve. Over by Wilson. Sims with a spike. Tipped over by Powell. Dug out there by Elkins. Sims with another spike. Saved by Powell. Sims with another spike. Wilson with the dig. And Jackson tries to tip it over, and it's going to hit the net. 21-14 now in favor of the Bobcats. Real serves over, and that one's going to be out of bounds. 21-15 now. And we're going to have Real check out and Sears check back in. Good minutes there for Real. She got the Bobcats about 6 points when she was serving. Smith now serving for the Beavers. Over the net by Sims. Setting up Powell for the spike. Saved by Sears over by Engel. And that's going to be a point for the Bobcats. 22-15 now. With Persinger back to serve for Bobcats. Wilson setting up Powell over. Engel setting up Persinger for the spike. Persinger tips it over. And the height by Patterson got that point there. She tips it over, and Persinger double tapped it. 22-16 now. Serve over by Wilson. And Engel can't get it set up. 22-17. Serve by Wilson is going to be out of bounds. 23-17 in favor of the Bobcats. Sims serving it for the Bobcats. White. Jackson with the save, and that's going to be as Ellison tipped the net. And that's going to be a point for the Beavers. 23-18. White checks out, and Zilkowski checks back in. Dig there by Powell, over by Jackson. Engel sets up Persinger, or no, Ellison with the spike. And a little miscommunication there by the Beavers. It's going to be 24-18 now. Game point for the Bobcats. Real checks back, checks back in. Sears checks out for the Bobcats. Engel setting up Ellison. And that's going to be a game as now tied 1-1 as the Bobcats win this one 25-18. We'll be right back for set number 3. Winner moves on to face James Monroe right after this.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Rinnai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing, and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
And we are back here for set number 3. Just a quick update. James Monroe girls playing a regional championship against Bluefield right up from us, and they are winning 3-0 at halftime in soccer. So winner of that one goes on to the States. It'll be the second time in school history James Monroe can keep that 3-0 lead. It'll be the second time the girls' soccer team has ever went to States. And the first point of set number 3 will go to the Beavers. As that's going to be Faye Jackson back to serve. Jackson tips it over, Sims back over the top. And Smith tries to just use her height and just hits the front of the net. It's going to be 1-1 now. Like I said, the winner of this one moves on to face James Monroe in a best-of-3 set. After this, about 20 minutes after this set is over. Angle sets up Sims. And Sims' spike gets them a point. As we're going to see the first time here, number 5 for the Beavers, Lindsey Tucker in. Over by Smith. Angle setting up Persinger for the spike, and it's going to hit the net. 2-2. In this final set here, Tucker checks out. White checks in. White serving it for the Beavers. Her serve is over. Patterson tries to dig it out, and it just hits the net. 3-2 in favor of the Bobcats. Persinger ready to serve for the Bobcats. Serves over. Dug out there by Powell. Back over to Powell. Setting up Sims for the spike, and that's going to be out of bounds. 3-3 now. Smith back serving for the Beavers. And it's going to be over the line. No, I'm sorry, it's going to be tip the net. So they hit the net is Powell. So it's going to be 4-3 Bobcats. Sims with the serve. Dug out there by White. Assist to Powell, and Powell gets the point for the Beavers. Assist there by Wilson. 4-4 now. Wilson serve over. Just a little tip drill there by Ellison. Saved there by Elkins, over by Angle. Wilson over to Jackson. Jackson. Oh, wow, what a play there. As Jackson tipped it over. Elkins was there, tipped it back over, and Jackson, not even looking, tipped it back over to get a point for the Beavers. That's going to be 5-5 now in set number 3. Sub coming in, Real coming in for Sears. Angles serve over. Jackson over to Powell, over the net. Sims digs it to Angle. Elkins over. Wilson. Jackson setting up Patterson, and it just hits the top of the net. 6-5, Bobcats. Angle serve over. What a try of a dig there by Smith. And it just goes out of bounds. 7-5 now, Bobcats. Angle serve over. Assist to Jackson. And Patterson tries to spike it, and it's just a little too hard. 8-5 now in favor of the Bobcats. Angle serve hits the top of the net, skims over, and Jackson tips it right back over for the Beavers' point. 8-6 now. Powell back to serve for the Beavers. Her serves over the net, and that's an ace for Powell. 8-7 now. Powell once again serving for the Beavers. Her serves over, and that's going to be out. We're going to make it 9-7 now in favor of the Bobcats. Ellison checks out, and Persinger checks in for the Bobcats. Persinger with the serve, and that's going to be an ace for Persinger. 10-7 Bobcats. Persinger once again, and that one's going to be out, as that's going to now be 10-8 Bobcats. Back now, serving is going to be Patterson for the Beavers. Patterson serves over. Angle setting up Persinger, and it's going to be out. 10-9 now. Patterson serve over. And what a try by Ellison over to Sims, and it's out of bounds, as that's going to be tied up 10-10 now. Beavers and Bobcats. Winner moves on to face the Mavericks. Served by Patterson, saved by Elkins, over by Real. Patterson setting up Smith. Sims with the dig. Angle sets up Elkins. Over by Tucker. Powell Jackson setting up Smith for the spike, and it is just out. 11-10 now, Bobcats. Elkins serves over Jackson. Tucker over the net for the Beavers, and it's going to be out. It's going to be 12-10 now, Bobcats. Elkins' serve is going to hit the net. 12-11 now. Bobcats in front by 1. Jackson back to serve for the Beavers. Jackson serves over the net. Dug out there by Elkins. Over to Sims for the spike. Saved by Tucker. Saved by Engel. Over by Real. Jackson over. Engel setting up Sims. Dug out there by Powell. Over by Smith. Engel setting up Persinger. And it is just out. All square, 12-12. And Jackson with another ace. Timeout taken by the Bobcats, and we're going to take a timeout with them. We'll be right back.
R.T. Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Renai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates.
And we're back here after the timeout. Jackson serve over. Dug out there by Elkins, over by Sims. Jackson setting up Smith for the serve. Dug out once again by Elkins. Over to Sims. Jackson with the save. Over to Tucker. Over the net by Smith. Real. Sims over the net. Powell. Jackson setting up Smith for the spike. 13-12 now in favor of the Beavers. This is the Beavers' first lead here of set number 3. Jackson back to serve once again. It's over. Over the net by Elkins. Over the net by Smith. And good try on the save there by Sims, but it's going to be out. Should be 14-12. (15-12) Beavers. Jackson with the serve. Dug out there by Ellison, and Sims tries to tip it over, and it's just too close to the net. 16 now, 16-12 Beavers. Jackson with the serve, and that's another ace for Jackson. And a timeout taken once again by the Bobcats. We're going to take a timeout with them, and we'll be right back.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
And we're back here after the timeout. 17-12 in favor of the Beavers. Jackson back to serve for the Beavers. She's had 4 straight points. Jackson serves up. And pretty much you're going to give that another ace there for Jackson. Good hustle there by Real. 18-12 now. Jackson serve over. Sims over the net. Dug out there by Powell, over by Jackson. Over by Real. Over by Wilson. Real setting up Persinger. Dug out there by Powell. Jackson tried to make the save there, and the wall came just a little bit too close. 18-13 now. Bobcats now trying to claw back into this one. Last time Real was serving, she got 5 points for the Bobcats, the left-hander. With the serve, Jackson with the dig. Over by Wilson. Elkins. Angle setting up Sims over. Jackson setting up Smith, and that's going to be out. 18-14 now. Real with the serve, and that's going to be out. 19-14 now. Going to have a sub as we're going to have Real check out. Sears checking in. And sub for the Beavers as well. White checking in, Tucker checking out. White back to serve for the Beavers, and it's not going to get over the net. It's going to be 19-15. Now back for the Bobcats to serve is going to be Persinger. Serves over. Jackson with the dig, over to Powell. Sims over the net for the Bobcats. Jackson tips it over. One-handed save there by Patterson. Jackson tries to get it over, and that's going to be 3 hits. Does not get across the net. 19-16 in favor of the Beavers. Powell over for the Beavers and hits the net. Saved by Sims. White with the dig over to Jackson. Sims back over the net. White tries to save it off Wilson and cannot. 19-17. Bobcats clawing back into this one. Persinger back to serve. And the serve's over. Jackson with the dig. Elkins, Angle setting it up for Sims. Out of bounds, and Jackson wisely lets it go. The senior, 20-17 in favor of the Beavers. Back now is going to be Smith to serve. Smith serves over, and it's out of bounds, 20-18. As we got a tight one here in the final set of three. 1-1 over by Sims, and that's going to be another point for the Bobcats. 20-19 now. Sims serves over. Over to Persinger, and the point is in. We are all tied 20-20. Sims serve over. Angle setting up Persinger with a tip. And the tip is over, and it's in just out of the outreach of Powell. 21-20 Bobcats. Timeout Beavers. We're going to take a timeout with them. We'll be right back.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Renai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel.
And we are back here after the timeout. Sims' serve is over. Angle sets up Elkins. White over to Jackson. Over on the spike by Smith. Saved by Sears. Over by Angle. Jackson setting up Patterson. And the point is good. That was just perfectly placed there by Patterson as Ellison dove to try to save it and just couldn't. 21-21. Scoring update from the regional soccer game, James Monroe and Bluefield. James Monroe girls are up 4-1. And it's going to be out on the serve by Wilson. 22-21, Bobcats. Sears out, reel back in. Angle serves over. Reel with the spike. Powell with the spike, saved by nobody. 22 all. White checking out for the Beavers. Tucker checking in. And Powell back to serve. Angle setting up reel. Wilson, Jackson setting up Patterson. Elkins getting ready for the spike. Nope, it's a little tip. Tucker over the net, and it's going to be out. 23-22 in favor of the Bobcats. Persinger with the serve. Powell over the net for the Beavers. Over to Sims. Angle setting up Elkins over the net. Tucker. And Patterson uses that size once again and just tips it in to no man's land. 23 all. Patterson going back now to serve for the Beavers. And Patterson's serve just doesn't get over the net. 24-23, game point now for the Bobcats. And it's going to be Elkins back. Her serve's up and over. Smith. Angle with the save over to Ellison. Tucker. Powell. Over the net by Jackson. Sims. Elkins. Over the net by Persinger. Powell. Jackson setting up Smith. Good dig there by Elkins. Over the net by Sims. Another dig by Elkins. Setting up Sims once again. Jackson over the net. And that's going to be a point for the Beavers. 24-24. I'm not sure on the rules of volleyball. I think now you have to win by 2, but nobody quote me on that one. Jackson serves over. Sims over the net for the Bobcats. Tucker. Jackson over to Smith. Smith with the spike. And this is game point now for the Beavers. Jackson serves up. And that's going to be your game, as Jackson, the only senior on the Beavers, wins it for the Beavers 26-24 in the third set. And the Beavers will move on to face the Mavericks about 20 minutes away. So we'll be back shortly to bring you that. All right, well, my information was very wrong. It is actually a best of 5. So it will be a best of 5 here as the Beavers lead 2-1. So if the Beavers win this one, it is over. Bobcats win, we will go to a game 5. Jackson serves over. Over by Reel. Powell, Jackson setting up Smith. Smith with the spike once again. 1-0 Beavers. It's been a common call here for the Beavers. Jackson setting up Smith. Jackson serves over. And what a dig try there by Elkins as it just goes out 2-0 Beavers. Jackson's serve hits the top of the net and falls down. 2-1 now. Elkins serve over for the Bobcats. And Patterson can't do nothing with it. 2-2 now. Elkins back to serve once again for the Bobcats. Her serves up over the net. Over by Smith. Back over by Sims. Jackson setting up Smith. Good save there by Ellison. And Bobcats can't do nothing with Ellison's save. It's going to be 3-2 in favor of the Beavers. White checking in. Tucker checking out for the Beavers. White getting ready to serve for the Beavers. White serve over. Over by Reel. Saved by Jackson. Over by Powell. Ellison over to Angle. Over to Reel. The left-hander with the spike. And that's going to be 3-3. Persinger. Going to be Alyssa Persinger back to serve for the Bobcats. Persinger serves over. And Wilson tries to save it, and it's out. 4-3 now, Bobcats. Saved by Powell, over by Jackson. Persinger angle. Sims over. White. Smith. Powell. Little too hard. 5-3 now. Bobcats. Persinger. Wilson. Smith can't get it over the net. 6-3 now, Bobcats. Persinger. Wilson tries to save it, and it's out. Seven to 3 now in favor of the Bobcats. Persinger serves over Jackson over the net. Persinger, angle, Reel. Wilson tries to save it, and it's no good. 8-3 now in favor of the Bobcats. And we're going to have a substitution. We're going to have that's going to be Zilkowski coming in for Wilson. And Persinger with another point for the Bobcats, 9-3. Beavers going to take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them. We'll be right back.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Rinnai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
And we're back here after the timeout. Persingers serve over to Angle, over the net by Sims, and Jackson and White try to save it. It will not be saved. 10-3 now in favor of the Bobcats. Bobcats have to win this one to force a set number 5. And right now they're on their way so far, as it's 11-3. As Persinger gets another point for the Bobcats. Persinger serves over. Another point for Persinger. 12-3 now. And Persinger can't get that serve over, as the Beavers will get a point. 12-4. Persinger coming out. Sears checking in for the Bobcats. Excuse me. Smith serving for the Beavers. Try a dig there by Ellison, and it goes wide left. 12-5 now in favor of the Bobcats. Smith back to serve. Over the net by Sims. Over the net by Jackson. Spike by Real, and that's a point for the Bobcats. 13-5. And Brianna Real will go back to serve for the Bobcats. Her serve goes under the net, as that's a point for the Beavers. 13-6 now. And we're going to have a sub, as Wilson is going to check in for Zilkowski. Wilson will go back to serve. Wilson serve over. And that's a point for the Bobcats. 14-6. Sims. And tipped over by Elkins. 15-6 now, Bobcats. Sims back to serve for the Bobcats. Her serve's over. Over by Smith, and it's a spike from the back row. 15-7 now. Bobcats on top, Beavers with the serve, and it's going to be Powell. White checks out for the Beavers. Tucker checks in. Powell's serve. And Angle tries to angle it in, and it goes out of bounds. 15-8 now. Powell with the serve over. Dug out by Sims. Over the net by Elkins. Over by Tucker. Setting up Persinger for the spike, and it's going to hit the net. 15-9 now. Beavers trying to claw back into this one to win this set and win the match. Powell with the serve. Elkins over the net. Tucker back over the net. Sims back over the net. Jackson over the net and in for the Beaver point. 15-10. Powell getting ready to serve once again for the Beavers. And that one's going to hit the top of the net and fall down. 16-10 now. Bobcats, and we're going to have a substitution. Sears checking out, Persinger checking in for the Bobcats. Another back spike there by Smith. Over the net by Persinger. Jackson over to Tucker. Setting up Persinger for the spike, and it's going to be a point for the Bobcats, 17-10. Update on the girls' regional soccer score. It's 4-1 still in favor of the Mavericks. If the Mavericks win, they are going to states for the second time in school history in girls' soccer. The serve by Angle is no good under the net. 17-11 here in favor of the Bobcats. Patterson back to serve for the Beavers. Patterson serves over the net. Elkins over. Jackson over the net, and that's going to be another point for the Beavers. 17-12 now. Patterson with the serve, and it's going to hit the top of the net and fall down. 18-12 in favor of the Bobcats. Once again, the Bobcats do have to win this one to force a set number 5. Persinger's serve over, tipped over by Jackson, and just in for the Beaver point. 18-13 now. And that's going to put Jackson back serving, and she has been dangerous back there serving. As if my math is correct, she's had about 4 or 5 aces on her own. So 18-13 in favor of the Bobcats. Jackson getting ready to serve. Her serve over, and there's another ace for the Beavers. 18-14. Jackson's serve. Over the net by Smith, and that's going to be another point for the Beavers, 18-15. Beavers trying to claw back into this one. Jackson's serve up. Oh, and it just hits the top of the net and falls over. Another ace for Jackson. That's going to be her 6th or 7th ace of the night. And the Bobcats are going to take a timeout, and we're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back with them.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
And we're back here after the timeout. Jackson serve over. Over the net by Reel. And it is just in. 19-16 in favor of the Bobcats. Persinger serve. And it's going to be another point as Wilson tried to save it. Another point for the Bobcats, 20-16 now. Elkins' serve is going to hit the top of the net. And it's going to be 20-17. As Tucker checks out, White checks in to serve for the Beavers. White serve over. Over the net by Sims. Jackson setting up Smith. And just out. I'm telling you, this volleyball is a game of inches, and that was just inches out. 21-17 in favor of the Bobcats. Persinger serves over the net by Powell. Angle setting up Reel. Left-handed spike is up and in, 22-17. Bobcats. Persinger back to serve. Try to dig out there by White, and it's not going to be good. 23-17 now, Bobcats. Persinger serves over. Hits the top of the net, and Smith tips it over. Sims over the net. And it's going to be another point for the Bobcats. Game point now for the Bobcats, 24-17 here in set number 4. Best of 5 with the Beavers 2-1. Persinger's serve is over. Powell over by Sims, dug out by White. Over by Patterson. And that's going to be a point for the Beavers. 24-18 now. I have a substitution. Persinger checking out for the Bobcats. Sears checking in. And we're going to have Smith. Back for the serve. And that's going to be the game as Smith couldn't get the serve over. That's going to tie it up 2-2. We'll be back for set number 5 right after this.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Rinnai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units, and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
All right, we are back here for the deciding set number 5 in this play-in game between Bluefield and Summers. Jackson back to serve. Real spikes it over. Jackson with the dig. Tucker over the net. Angle setting up Real once again for the left-handed spike. Wilson tries to save it, and it's no good. 1-0 Bobcats. Elkins back to serve for the Bobcats. Smith over the net for the Beavers. Angle